thank you all for coming. This is a first for us, of course, having an event like this. We opened the school just 6 short years ago, back in January 2020, and we've been slowly building up to a day like today ever since. But it's not, it's a short amount of time, but it's also taken, feels like it's also been a while as well. Some of you guys have been around since very early on. That's very much appreciated that everyone could come out here for today. We won't keep you all afternoon, of course, because everyone's got their weekends to get to, but we wanted to definitely take some time to commemorate a couple big steps for the school. Not the least of which being having our very first black belt since opening the club. For me as a teacher, that's a very big step, a big thing. It also is made especially memorable by the fact that we're able to actually sneak her in to get graded by Grandmaster Choi, who was one of the last living pioneers of Taekwondo. He couldn't come here himself for this, so I know he's delegated to Grandmaster Thurston to do some of the presentations, but which is also very appropriate because he's been here every step of the way and getting us ready for today. We wouldn't, I don't think, be here. I know I certainly wouldn't be going up towards where Fifth Ed myself if it wasn't for him being involved with our club and taking an interest in coming and joining in. So I don't know if you want to talk a little bit more about getting things done through Grandmaster Choi or.
Well, the only thing that I always want to make sure everybody understands is that Grandmaster Choi is the preeminent original Taekwondoist on the planet. He is the hammer, and he's starting to get old, and his wife is having health problems. So instead of traveling, he can't travel anymore. We're doing as many videos as we can, and that's going to wear out soon. So I guess I'll be the guy.
No, it's been the videos. Just to put a little bit of context behind, like you saw, it was playing on the screen there before we started. There are just some parts of the videos that were sent in. Couldn't put them both up at the same time, so we're just had Cass's up at the moment. But the 13, 14, 15-minute video that was eventually sent in was a culmination of 3 to 4 months of constant work to get that prepared. Every single time that there was a pattern that we were said, okay, this one's good to submit, there were 10 to 20 attempts before that to get the one we were happy with. All of them going back to, oh, no, okay, fix that. Oh, all right, let's fix that again. And another adjustment, and another adjustment, until we finally, so some days we'd be here for 3 hours and get one, 2-minute stretch of video that we were happy with, and then to come back another day to do some more. So, well, the conventional black belt exam that most people go through and what will very likely become the norm here for future black belts is to come in here, work really, really hard for a few hours on a day, do your best job under the pressure of performing in front of your friends and family and students and all of that. That has its own share of challenges. This is a different version of hard, where it was time, well, for me it was usually just one-on-one. She had the misfortune of having 2-on-1 essentially, so that both of us standing here and picking apart every little thing over and over again until we got things to where we wanted. So it was a lot of learning on as well through the exam, but a lot of work and a lot of time that went into it. It was a few hours every week for almost 4 months went into getting that video together, and then of course just so we were able to send it into kind of the perfectionist of all perfectionists when it comes to Taekwondo. He's as high as there is as far as an expert in the field. So having an opportunity to do that, he normally doesn't get involved with first degree black belt applications. That's not his general thing to do. So we were lucky enough to be able to, I think, sneak Cass in because he was going to do mine as the instructor as well. But yeah, I want to turn over, we'll get things moving here with the first presentations here. So what we have is one of the certificates here that was sent in by Grandmaster Choi. So it says the Taekwondo Pioneer Certificate, as Cassidy folk, you are hereby certified that the original Taekwondo pioneers have granted you first degree black belt in accordance with the rules and regulations of Taekwondo on the 29th day of November 2025, and then it's signed at the bottom, Grandmaster CK Choi, 9th degree black belt and original Taekwondo pioneer, the founding member of the International Taekwondo Federation, and the world's first Taekwondo champion back in 1962. So, and your embroidered black belt.
Right, well, I just wanted to say a big thank you. I had some amazing instructors, and being able to see Derek test as well, Mr. Hall, and having someone to look up to and be like, wow, I want to be that one day. It's been really cool and really amazing to have such great people around me as well, supporting me. And it's thanks to you guys helped me get here as well. So thank you guys for not giving up on me when I'm injured or busy with school. Appreciate you taking the time.
The only other one, of course, is the one that's going to me from Grandmaster Choi. The wording on the certificate is identical. The only real change is that it says 5th degree as opposed to 1st degree.
That would be a big one.
That's a big change.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
Name's might be different too.
Well, congratulations, my friend. We worked hard because I made sure you did.
Thank you. All right, so beyond that, really quickly, and I did forget to mention as well that recently Grandmaster Choi, in addition to being such an icon in Taekwondo, also recently received the Order of Canada, just a few months back actually.
A couple of months back.
That was a lot award that was a long time coming, but that was awarded for his incredible contributions to not just a specific martial art, but sport in general throughout Canada and around the world as well, because he's not just a Canadian Taekwondo icon, he's actually worldwide considered one of the highest, if not the highest, in respect as well as knowledge on the planet. So we're very lucky to have such a direct connection through Grandmaster Thurston to him. So I want to make sure that didn't get missed as well. I did jot down a couple quick words here, just really quickly to flip through. I know it's a couple pages, so a few words maybe the wrong term for it, but I did want to quickly go through a couple of things for the schools. Myself, I started Taekwondo back in September 1997, at 15 years old. My original instructor's name was Mr. Warren Lee, back in Port Alberni, BC. And I took to it right away. Taekwondo was kind of the one thing that I wanted to do, spend all my time doing. It quickly became my interest above any other hobbies or sports, and I really quickly involved myself in the school. All my free time went into training, and then later, as I got a little bit more invested in the school, assisting with classes as well. That was 28 years ago now, and since that time, there's really never been a time that Taekwondo, martial arts in general, but Taekwondo specifically, has been an integral part of my life. Even though there's been times over the years where injuries and work and life got in the way that I wasn't as actively involved, it's always been there and formed a large part of who I became as an adult as well. After I moved to Creston and opened this school, it was a while back later that I had the good fortune of being introduced to Grandmaster Thurston here. It was a pretty big shock to me that one of the highest ranked and most experienced martial artists in the style that I was already doing just happened to be living in the same town that I was living in. The odds of that, I don't know if you could even do the math on how rare a situation that would be to come around. He's helped tremendously improving my own knowledge and skills in Taekwondo, and of course also provided the opportunities that have allowed me to promote with Grandmaster Choi both to 4th degree and now to 5th as well. I really quickly wanted to add a few thanks to a few people really quickly, because after 28 years you build up a few things along the way. So first, he couldn't be here, but my original instructor, Mr. Warren Lee, he introduced me to Taekwondo and provided such high quality instruction and passed along the standards and curriculum that we're still using here to this day. There's been way too many training partners, co-students, as well as my own students who have helped in so many ways, you know, making me a better instructor, teaching me how to do things, teaching me as well as just how to keep my hands up, and when that failed, hopefully, most of the time, pulling that kick back so it didn't knock me right out when I made a mistake on that. And of course, we wouldn't be here today without Grandmaster Thurston's guidance. I can't thank you enough for taking an interest in both my progression and in our school and the students of the school as well. And then really, finally, to my wife Tessa, of course. You've been the rock that I needed to keep going through all the injuries and the sicknesses that I've had over the years. Never let me doubt that things would come back around and I'd recover stronger than before, which has now, feels like that's actually happened. So thanks for everything you've done to support me and all in this and every other area. So love you.
Love you, baby.
Now on to Cass, because as well, yes, this is partially my day. For me, I am to a degree more invested in what what today is as a teacher. So when we opened for group classes in January 2020, Cassidy was one of the very first students who joined. I think I looked this week and found your old waiver for, I think it was dated January 6th. So that was, I don't think that was the first day we had classes. It was probably like the 7th or 8th, but it was somewhere around there. It was right at the very beginning. So essentially the very first student, for lack of, and there's nobody else back from that time that's still around. So that was there right at the very beginning and still here today, 6 years later, just under. All the starts and stops that happened in that first year with all the COVID shutdowns that we went through, she still stayed consistent, kept training even though when we couldn't have group classes for times. She was the first one in school to stepped up to start volunteering to help show other students how something was done, or how a move or a new pattern would be. So she was always just right there and willing to help. Over the 6 years, there's this things that we call the tenets of Taekwondo. They're what we talk about in classes and try to build as far as what sort of people we're putting out into the world as members of the school. So the 5 tenets of Taekwondo are courtesy, integrity, self-control, perseverance, and one called indomitable spirit. Over these 6 years, I've had the privilege of seeing her exemplify every single one of them. Courtesy and integrity, always having a positive attitude in every class, being dependable, showing up to assist with, and even eventually start teaching classes even when I couldn't be there. A couple years ago when I tore my ACL and I had to be away for reconstructive surgery, it was Cass who kept the lights on and the classes running when I couldn't be here for that time. She's really gone a long way to help me build this school to where it is today, every bit as much as we have. Self-control, I've seen her stay patient with kids pushing boundaries and not listening in class, as well as just showing an example of how to act and having that self-control of, how she interacts with people out in the public. I've never had to worry about, whether her behavior would reflect poorly on the club. Quite the opposite. I've always had confidence that it would always make us look good. And then lastly, perseverance and indomitable spirit. Nobody gets to their black belt without years of consistent hard work. It can't just be a couple days and that's good enough. It's consistently through years to get to where she's gotten to. She's carried on through her own training setbacks and injuries, hours of repetitions to build the highest level of skill, and just showing that quality of never giving up through all of it. I'm very proud to be able to recognize her loyalty and dedication to both her own training as well as all her contributions to building our school to where it is today. So thank you.
All right.
To go along with that, we have an extra certificate to award to her. So you can come on up here.
Be careful with that one.
Here, so this one is from us at the school here. It's a Dragon Martial Arts Academy Preston Award Certificate to Cassidy Folk. This is to recognize you as the first Dragon Martial Arts Academy Preston student to achieve the rank of first degree black belt, and in appreciation of your ongoing contributions to the growth and instruction of the original Taekwondo. This 29th day of November 2025, and it is signed by both Grandmaster Thurston and myself. So thank you very much for everything.
And before you run off, you were also my first black belt as a Grandmaster, so I managed to find one more of those.
So these pins are not that easy to find.
Not those ones.
These are old ones from
54 years old.
afterwards, but yeah, it's about 54 years old. It's one of the original pins that was given out to the members of the International Taekwondo Federation back when it was doing the same style that we're doing today. Well, we do this is what the International Taekwondo Federation used to do. It's changed now, but these are kind of old pins that, yeah, that's quite the collector's item. Very lucky to have an extra I think, yeah, so that's kind of the last of all the chatting and speeches that we have. We've got time to get a bunch of photos and everything else going on and socialize and chat. So thanks again for everybody for coming, and congratulations.